GabiesKnitGoodies. One of my dogs says hi too. I'm going to take off his collar so it doesn't jingle. Yes, Ruthie. So today, since it's the end of 2021 and the beginning of 2022 here shortly, I decided I should go over like all of my hand knits, sweaters and t-shirts and all that good stuff. And then I realized I have a ton. So today I'm going to go over all of my hand knit pullovers that aren't short sleeves. Yes, that's this category. So I'm going to start with a little bit of shop news. I am Gabie. This is GabiesKnitGoodies, and I like to design patterns. I also have recently begun dyeing yarn. That's available on Etsy at GabiesKnitGoodies is my shop name. And then I have patterns on Ravelry and Love Knitting, albeit not very many patterns. It's really more of a, it's just a hobby thing that I'm currently doing and hoping to make into more of a jobby later on. And speaking of patterns, I am wearing not exactly a new one. I actually designed and knit this a while ago, but never finished writing up the pattern up until recently. And it is now available for test knitting. If anyone's interested, you can email me or go to my Ravelry group. There's a test knit, open test knit for this sweater. It is a fingering weight, top down, yoked sweater with this colorwork, geometric colorwork pattern in the yoke. And yeah, if you would like to test knit it, I would love to have you test knit my design. I'm always looking for enough test knitters to test knit all of the sizes with more than one test knitter. Yes. So my yarn is, I don't have a huge amount of it in stock in Etsy. Some has been purchased, and I'm hoping to dye yarn and get more yarn up here sometime in January. So I will let you know when that happens. But I do still have some available in my shop. Let's see. Oh, Lucy, you can have that. Oh, dear. Hello, Wookie. I'm going to put this on the outtakes. My little Wookie, he's my sweet baby, and he's taking it from my chair. Okay, so the way I wanted to do this today is to go over the sweaters and tell you a little bit about them, not spend so long that it's takes forever to go through them. And I also am going to video myself wearing them all so you can see what they look like on. First one, of course, is this one, and it is knit out of Knit Picks Alpaca Cloud fingering weight, and it is a 3/4 length sleeves. You can make it longer, and it is kind of wide and not super long. I wouldn't say it's a crop sweater, but it's not a super long one. But of course you can make those adjustments really easy. It has a bit of a wide sleeve as well that cinches at the cuff, and I have knit it twice. And this one was my original design, and I like how striking the color work is, but I decided to do one a little different, and I really love this one. I actually wear this one all the time. So this is the same pattern, but because of the yarn, the color work is not nearly as defined. It's a little more muddled. And as you can see in both of these, the what do you call it? The increases for the yoke are visible eyelets on purpose. Of course you could just make ones so that they're invisible, but I like the little eyelet decoration, and they're also in this one. And then you can see that geometric pattern here, but it's just not nearly as defined. And I also did this one long sleeves as opposed to short sleeves. So it has a little bit of short rows to lengthen the neck or raise the back of the neck. And this one is knit out of also Knit Picks, but this is alpaca, whereas this is just a wool yarn. I think this one's hawthorn, kettle dyed yarn. So really, really like this. And all of the details for this test knit are available in that Ravelry page, but it's also, if you email me, I will send you all the details. So that's one or two, one pattern. I don't know what to name it, so if you guys have any ideas about names, please let me know. Currently it's the geometric colorwork yoke sweater. Let's see. Next one. You guys have seen this before, probably a few times. It is the Sunset Highway by Caitlin Hunter of Boyland Knitworks. My goal when choosing this yarn was to find yarn that gave the same feel as her sample, but didn't cost as much as a sweater's quantity of hand-dyed yarn. So I went on Knit Picks website and I chose things that I thought had the same feel. And it was all, of course, done online. And so I was a little nervous as to how it was going to come out or what it would look like when it showed up. And like this one, I wasn't sure if the orange was too much because it does have some very bright orange specks in it, but I love it. Everything I think turned out really nice, and this is probably one of my most worn sweaters. So it has orange speckles, and then I think these are like kettle dyes up here. And this lighter blue color is the same as what's in that other sweater that I just showed you. Again, Knit Picks, Hawthorn yarns. You know, one thing I have to say about this yarn is it's not super soft like some like merino yarns or whatever, but it has held up so well, and it's, for me, I don't feel like it's super scratchy or anything like that. It's totally wearable. It's just not buttery soft, but it's, I mean, for as much as I've worn it, it's barely pilled at all. So I have to say I like that because I wear it all the time. One reason I think I like it is because it's not too tight. I've discovered that I like things a little bit looser, and it does have short rows in the back, and I think the hemline is actually, you do short rows at the bottom to lengthen the back of the hem, which I also like that. Okay, next sweater is another Caitlin Hunter sweater, Boyland Knitworks. This one is the Zweig sweater. Don't know if I'm saying that right. Z-W-E-I-G. Let's see. This is the front. Originally, this pattern has a different yarn in this lace area here. But at the time, I figured I would wear a plain color or a solid color sweater more than one with different colors on it. So I just did it all in one color. It looks really pretty. Of course, I'll show this with a clip as well. But like with like a tank top and your skin showing through it, I think it looks pretty like that. Very similar construction to any top-down yoked sweater. You cast on, and first you did, again, short row shaping to raise the back of the neck, and then there's increases within the lace work here. So the lace work's really pretty. And then there's an all over texture in the body. It's like this little, I guess a little cable decoration, but it's more of just like a twisted stitch. The one thing that I wish I'd done a little bit differently is a couple of things. The cuff is too tight, so I don't wear it a huge amount. Like, I wish I went up a whole size. The whole sweater, I just wish was one size a little bit larger. It fits fine, and it's not super snug like on my belly or anything, but like, it's not oversized at all. And I found that I tend to wear the oversized sweaters more. So, I do really like it though. Yeah, I just wish it was like a size bigger. The yarn. This is an Australian wool yarn that I got in the Montpelier Fiber Arts Festival. It is hand dyed, and it feels similar to like the hawthorn yarn. It's not as soft, not as buttery soft as some yarns, but it's still fine. And it's worn fairly well as well. And you can tell it's got some variation in there, almost stripy, especially on the sleeves. I did not do the like helical knitting or alternate skeins or anything. But I'm okay with how that turned out. I don't remember what the yarn is specifically called. So, next one up is the Ladyfingers sweater by Woltersdorf, and her like logo name or whatever is Morthunder. And this is the Ladyfingers sweater. The yarn I used is not the called for yarn. This is a fingering weight yarn, and the pattern called for DK, I believe. So a slightly bigger yarn. I don't think it was worsted though. It was more like a DK. And this is kind of a plump fingering weight, I would call that. So in order to make this work for me, I did go up a size or two in the pattern, and I knit, the only thing I wish I had done is I wish I had knit before the split for the sleeves. I wish I had done another section before I split for my sleeves. So it's a top down yoked sweater, and I used a set of fingering weight yarn that I found on Zulily. I think it's Zen Yarn Garden is the name of the company, and it was like banana split colorway maybe. And the set came together. I can't remember how many grams per skein, but it totally worked out. And the yarn is super soft. It's a merino yarn. This does have some short row shaping in the back of the neck. I think I might have knit the sleeves a little bit longer because of the smaller yarn, and I wanted to make sure that I had long sleeves because I find I wear that more. So again, if I had to knit this over again, the only thing I would really change is, well, I can't change everything I would change, but I would knit to the underarm. I would knit a little longer before I split, and if I had more yarn, I would have knit it another inch or two longer as well, because I wear longer, boxier, or wider sweaters, comfy sweaters, more than anything else. But I like it. And it was easy in terms of color work. It's pretty easy. However, I would say the only negative with color work that's super simple, but it's in a row like this is that you can easily get that bunching that goes on when you have color work all lined up in a row. I was very cautious of that, and I don't have any of that nail that it's been blocked. But just if you knit this sweater or anything with long straight rows of color work, watch out for making that too tight and bunching. But I like it. Alrighty. Next one. This one, I really like this one. This one's actually my pattern, but I have not written up the pattern and put it out for test knitting and all that. Actually, I have a draft of it, but it's not finalized. I haven't graded it for all the different sizes. But it is simple. I'm calling it currently Easy Chunky Sweater. You just cast on at the neck, and it is a raglan increase, and I go fairly long before I split for my sleeves because I like that roominess. And this is a 3/4 length one. This is in this lovely camel color. It's kind of wide and a little bit cropped. I hate to say cropped because when I think of cropped, I think of like belly button showing cropped, but this is definitely like below my waistband, but not like halfway down my hip, if that makes sense. So, yeah, I really like it. The yarn is what makes it so super squishy and the fun texture that it has. It is Barocco yarn called Nomad, and it has just sheep's wool in it as well as camel, and it's super squishy and soft. I really, really like it. Okay, next sweater. This one. This I knit quite a while ago. Maybe 2 or 3 years ago. It is the Stop and Start Pullover, and the pattern is from a book called Creative Cables, 25 Innovative Designs in Debbie Bliss Rialto Yarns. I got the book from the library, and it's called Stop and Start because like you stop and start when you're making it. I can't remember all the construction, but I know it's a raglan one, but you do seam the sleeves on, and like you knit, I feel like it's been so long, I think you knit bottom up and then you pick up sleeves and knit the top sections. I can't quite remember, but I do know that I messed up on the twisted stitches. Some stitches were supposed to be twisted like ribbing, and I didn't do that, and I feel like I twisted other stitches. But again, this is at least 2 or 3 years ago. It's probably more like 5 years ago. Maybe only 4. I don't know, a long time ago. The yarn is Fisherman's Wool by Lion Brand. 100% wool, non-superwash, worsted weight. I find that this light color in that Fisherman's Wool is the softest out of all of them, and I don't mind wearing this as a sweater. I do wear it with something under it. I'm sensitive right here around my neck, but all in all, it's not super scratchy, especially in the white or the cream. The darker colors I find have a little more prick to them, but I do like that. I like the woolly wool of this Fisherman's Wool, and it's inexpensive. Actually, that's the main reason why I have knit a number of things out of it, especially in the beginning. So it is an interesting construction, and the cables make it really pretty, and it has a little bit of shaping in it. You can probably tell it's narrower here and then it widens this little section here on both sides. So it's got some interesting construction going on. And actually it's knit in pieces. The front and back are knit separate. And the sleeves are knit separate, so. And it's a V-neck, which is cool. I do still wear this one. My favorite way to wear this is with a collared, like denim shirt under it. If you hear scratching, that's my dog. One of them. Moose. Okay. This one is another one of my designs that hasn't been finalized yet, but hopefully it will sometime soon. It is a very wide neck, V-neck sweater. It is knit in pieces. I knit it bottom up. Yes, bottom up in the round. Then at the armholes I split there and knit like these little diamond areas separate, or like had this, hold one side on waist, knit this, hold the back on waist and knit that. And then I did the sleeves and seamed them on, and then I picked up stitches for the neck. I actually wear this quite a bit. This one is cropped. Again, it doesn't show my belly button, but it's probably my most cropped sweater. I have to wear it with high-waisted jeans. Otherwise, it just doesn't look right. But it's kind of wide and it's color blocked. And I really love this. I would probably wear it even more if I had made it just a tad longer, because then it would be able to wear it with any of my jeans. It is knit out of Knit Picks Wool of the Andes Tweed. So it's kind of like that fisherman's wool. It's not super soft. I wear it with a long sleeve shirt under it. Kind of a wide neck long sleeve shirt that I have that I wear under it so that it doesn't cover up like my neck that's all open because of it. But that one's super fun. Maybe I'll finish writing it up one day. And my next sweater is the Ondawa sweater. And this came out in the Brooklyn Tweed publication in 2014, fall of 2014. I actually made show notes today. Pattern is by Michele Wang. Again, Ondawa, don't know if I'm saying it right. It is a very simple construction, but it has a lot of cables in it and a lot of charts. Years ago, I was really into cables. I still really like cables, but I was more into cables than color work. So this is knit in 2 rectangles, then seamed together at the sides and the shoulders, and then the sleeves are picked up and knit down. One thing I really like about this sweater is the hem. I really like that it has this little decorative element in the ribbing of the hem, and it's also on the sleeves. The yarn, I spent a lot of time for this yarn. I bought a sweater at Goodwill and I took it apart. I re-skeined up the yarn and re-washed it and used it. So this was an inexpensive sweater in terms of cost, but in time it was ridiculously expensive. And I definitely determined that it is, it's quite a pain to do all that. But I like the finished product. It's 50% cotton and 50% wool. And I like it soft and kind of squishy. The one negative is it doesn't have very much elasticity. So 50% wool, 50% cotton, it doesn't retain a lot of that elasticity that wool has. And so the sleeves especially kind of stretched out. And instead of being 3/4 length, now they're this kind of awkward length. It's too long but too short. It's a drop shoulder design boat neck. So I still wear it, I think, because it's gray and I really like all the cables. In the the combination of wool and cotton make it a nice temperature, which is good. All right, next sweater. Last sweater for, no, not last sweater, second to last sweater. This is, if you've watched my channel, you've seen this one before. It is the Snow is Coming sweater by me. Okay. So this is Fisherman's Wool by Lion Brand. And this is, the black is Patton's Classic Wool. And it's just a 2-color, all over color work on the body. You knit it from the bottom up. And then when you go to split for your sleeves here, you knit it in the round from bottom up. When you split for your sleeves, you also stop the color work. So it's a bit simpler than some color work, so you don't have to do any increases or decreases within the color work section. You knit, you put like the back on waist yarn, you knit the front, and you seam the back and the front pieces together, pick up and knit down for the sleeves. Has a little bit of color work on the sleeves and a cuff that you can fold. And this originally is made quite long intentionally, almost like a tunic, so you can be super warm and cozy all the way past your waist. And that pattern, this pattern is available in my Ravelry store or on the loveknitting.com website. So I like the super bold color work. I think that's cool. And the last one here is also my design but not published. And the only real reason I'm showing it to you guys is, number one, I'm trying to show you all of my hand-knit sweaters that were for me. I've made a few for my kids as well, but these are all the ones that I made for me. This is my own design. Pattern is not available, but it's a kind of a drapey turtleneck, long sleeve, fairly basic. I did a little bit of pattern work in the body here. But the main reason I wanted to show you this is that it is made out of Knit Picks Swish worsted merino yarn. And I like it in terms of the softness and the warmth. However, it pills like mad. It's super, super, super pilly. And even though it is a superwash merino, where in certain spots, like around my hip, like where my purse would rub and stuff, I don't know if you guys can see that or not, but it's actually felted in those areas a little bit. So if you're using this yarn, I don't know that I would use it for a sweater. I personally would not use it for a sweater again. I do wear this some. I wear it with a vest, like a padded vest over it in the wintertime instead of like wearing a jacket, and I'll wear it almost like long underwear or something. I'll wear it under things because it is somewhat snug, but this yarn is very stretchy and not itchy at all, so it works as like an undergarment. So anyways, that's the last one. I hope you guys enjoyed all of my sweaters, and I hope you guys will check this out and test knit it for me. And I love to talk about all my sweaters and see them all piled up. It's so much fun. My next one I want to do here in a little while is the ones that are all like short sleeves and made more for summer sweaters. I have some 3/4 length sleeves in there too, but I actually have a good number of those as well. And then I also want to do a video with all my cardigans. So I will talk to you guys soon. Happy knitting. Bye.